In this video, we're going to review the quotient rule for exponents. Remember, quotient means the answer to a division problem. So this is our exponent rule when we are dealing with a division problem where the bases are the same. So if we look at our rule, a to the m over a to the n equals a to the m minus n. So what does that mean? That means if our bases are the same and we are dividing them, all we have to do is subtract our exponents to get our new exponent. This makes sense. We've already learned about the product rule, which is the multiplication. When we multiply bases that are the same, we add the exponents. Well, division is the opposite of multiplication. Subtraction is the opposite of addition. So we are doing the opposite of what we would be doing in the product rule. So let's explain why this works. Our first example is x to the fifth over x to the third. Now, if I wanted to write this out, this would look like x times itself 5 times on the top, or numerator of my fraction, and x times itself 3 times on the bottom, or denominator. So remember, every fraction we see is a division problem. So anytime you divide something by itself, it equals 1. So anytime I can find a pair of x's, I can cross them out. They cancel out. So I would be left with 2 x's, or x squared. If I wanted to do this a quicker way, I would use my quotient rule, which tells me that I can look at my problem, x to the fifth over x to the third. I can look at my coefficients, and all I need to do is subtract them to find my new coefficient. So I would do 5 minus 3, and that would get me 2. My base does not change, so it would be x to the second. So these are the same answer. We just used our rule to get it a quicker way. So let's look at our next example. 8 to the seventh over 8 to the second. This is still a division problem. Our base is 8. This does not mean I should do 8 divided by 8 and get 1. 8 is our base. We're only looking at our exponents in this problem. If there was a coefficient out front, which we'll get to in a later video, then we would divide those numbers. But in this case, 8 is the base. We are not doing 8 divided by 8. 8 will remain in our answer as the base. What we are going to do is look at our two exponents, 7 and 2. My quotient rule tells me all I have to do is subtract them, and I will get my new exponent. So I will do 7 minus 2, which gets me 5. So I keep 8 as my base, and 5 is my new exponent. One more example would be y to the sixth over y to the fifth. So I look at my exponents. They tell me what numbers I need to subtract, which is 6 minus 5, which equals 1. So y is still our base. I'm going to write y. I do not need to write 1 as an exponent. When the letter is by itself, the exponent is assumed to be 1. Some people get mixed up and think if there is no exponent, the exponent is 0. It would say 0. So if there is no exponent written up there, it is 1. So y to the sixth y to the sixth divided by y to the fifth equals y.